Stone walls still stand where voices once echoed. A city built to resist time itself vanished without a final battle. Maps erased its name, and roads learned to it. No flames marked its end. No treaty explained its absence. Only silence remained, heavier than ruin. In the early 17th century, France existed in a state of permanent uncertainty. Borders shifted. Alliances fractured. Power was measured not only by armies, but by stone. Fortified cities became anchors of control, placed where movement could be watched and slowed. One such city rose on elevated ground, overlooking a narrow passage between valleys. Its position was deliberate. Whoever held it could observe trade, troops, and messages moving through the region. Construction began at the end of the 16th century. Military engineers followed modern principles of fortification. Thick stone walls were shaped into angular bastions to deflect cannon fire. A dry moat surrounded the perimeter. Gates were narrow and reinforced. Inside, space was limited and carefully organized. Barracks stood close to the walls. Storehouses occupied the inner ring. A small church marked the center. Civilian houses pressed inward, built for shelter rather than comfort. The city was never intended to grow large. Its purpose was endurance. A permanent garrison of French soldiers lived alongside craftsmen, traders, and their families. Muskets and pikes filled the armory. Cannons watched the pass below. Drums marked the hours of guard duty. Life followed a strict routine. Patrols circled the walls. Supplies arrived by cart. Repairs were constant and expected. For a time, the fortress functioned as planned. Traffic through the pass brought information and modest trade. Officers reported regularly to regional command. The city appeared stable, even dull. But stability in this period was fragile. As larger conflicts consumed resources elsewhere, supply routes became unreliable. Winters grew harsher. Harvests failed in surrounding villages. The fortress depended entirely on external deliveries. Grain, powder, and tools arrived less often. Rations were reduced. Civilians felt the strain first. Soldiers followed. Requests for reinforcements and supplies were sent repeatedly. Responses came late. Some never came at all. Strategic priorities shifted. New roads bypassed the pass. Artillery improved, reducing the value of older fortifications. The city remained in place, but its importance quietly declined. Still, no order came to abandon it. No evacuation was announced. Life continued under pressure. Repairs were delayed. Cracks appeared in the stone. Roofs leaked. The fortress endured, but only just. It had been built to withstand attack. It was not built to survive being forgotten. As the years passed, neglect became structural. The city did not collapse suddenly. It thinned. Officers were reassigned and not replaced. The garrison slowly shrank. Weapons remained in storage, but fewer men were trained to use them. Drills were shortened. Night watches became irregular. The fortress still looked occupied, yet its discipline was eroding. Supply deliveries arrived without pattern. Some months brought grain but no powder. Others brought tools without food. Storehouses emptied unevenly. Rations were reduced again. Civilian families began to leave in silence. They did not announce departures. Houses closed. Doors were barred. Entire streets lost their sound. Weather worsened conditions inside the walls. Heavy rains flooded lower rooms and damaged stored grain. Damp air rotted wood and spread illness. Fever moved quickly through the garrison. Soldiers were confined to their bunks. Bells rang more often. Burials increased. The cemetery beyond the inner gate expanded into unused ground. Command decisions became constrained by absence. To maintain the fortress required resources that no longer arrived. To abandon it required authorization that never came. Reports sent to higher command were brief and unanswered. The city existed, but outside official concern. Defensive readiness declined with each season. Cannons remained mounted, but powder was rationed. Walls showed cracks that went unrepaired. Vegetation grew between stones. Moss-covered surfaces once scraped clean. The fortress aged in place. Rumors replaced orders. Some claimed the position had been intentionally removed from strategic planning. Others believed repairs were deemed too costly. None were confirmed. What remained clear was the reality inside the walls. Population decreased steadily. Fewer voices filled the streets. Fewer footsteps marked the hours. Roles blurred. Soldiers repaired roofs. Civilians stood watch at the gates. Authority weakened without reinforcement. The city drifted between military installation and abandoned settlement. Then came a winter that cut the final lines of support. Snow blocked the road through the pass. No carts arrived. Fires burned low. Food ran out. Illness spread without restraint. Several officers died within weeks. Command fractured. Decisions became individual, not official. Some soldiers left at night. Others followed at dawn. No alarms were raised. No pursuit followed. The gates stood open longer each day. By spring, the fortress remained standing. But it was no longer held. The end did not arrive with violence. It arrived through omission. By the final decades of the 17th century, the fortress no longer appeared in official correspondence. Reports from the region listed other positions, other roads, other priorities. This city was absent. It still stood in stone, but no longer existed in administration. Inside the walls, authority dissolved quietly. The chain of command weakened after the death of several officers during the winter. No replacements arrived. Orders were no longer issued in writing. Decisions were made in isolation. Some soldiers guarded the gates. Others did not. Discipline became personal rather than institutional. The physical structure of the city remained largely intact. Walls still held their shape. Bastions still overlooked the pass. Cannons remained mounted, unmoved. Yet readiness was an illusion. Powder stores were insufficient. Muskets went unmaintained. The fortress could not have resisted even a minor assault. But no enemy came. The greater force was absence. No traffic passed through the valley. Roads eroded. The pass lost its function. Merchants avoided the route. Travelers chose alternatives. The city guarded nothing. Those who remained understood this. Without instruction or ceremony, departures increased. Soldiers left in small groups. Some wore uniforms. Others did not. Civilians followed when possible. Houses emptied without record. Personal belongings were taken or left behind according to need. There was no final day. No moment marked as abandonment. Gates were opened and never formally closed. Watches ended and were not resumed. The city crossed a threshold without announcement. Within weeks, the population fell to zero. Wind moved through streets once shaped by routine. Rain entered rooms through cracked roofs. Wood rotted. Iron rusted. Animals returned first. Birds nested in towers built for artillery. Grass broke through stone joints. The fortress remained visible for years. Travelers occasionally entered. They found intact walls, abandoned rooms, no signs of struggle, no mass graves, no fire damage, only order left unfinished. Maps were revised. Roads were redrawn. The city's name disappeared. The fortress survived. Its purpose did not. The city was not erased by war, nor was it claimed by fire or siege. Its disappearance unfolded slowly, shaped by time, neglect, and the quiet withdrawal of human presence. The stone walls remained standing long after the last inhabitants had left, overlooking roads that no longer led anywhere and guarding a passage that had lost its purpose. Houses deteriorated gradually. Roofs weakened and collapsed inward. Wooden beams rotted under constant exposure to rain and cold. Iron fittings rusted and broke away from doors that were never opened again. Streets once shaped by routine and repetition became empty corridors, their silence growing heavier with each passing year. The fortress endured as a structure, but not as a place of life. Travelers occasionally passed near it, sometimes stopping to look from a distance. Few entered the city itself. Those who did found no signs of struggle or destruction. There were no burned gates, no shattered artillery, and no traces of sudden departure. Everything appeared simply abandoned, left unfinished and unresolved. Official records offered no conclusion. The city's name vanished from administrative documents and was gradually removed from maps. Roads were redrawn elsewhere. Trade routes shifted. Memory followed the same path, fading with each generation. Vegetation reclaimed the stone. Grass grew between the joints of the walls. Birds nested in towers once designed for artillery. Rain filled empty chambers where soldiers had once stood watch. The fortress remained visible for a long time, but meaning did not. It endured physically, while its stories slipped quietly out of history, leaving only silence behind. These stories are rarely told. Subscribe if you want to hear the next one.